Right then, welcome to my review of Dog Soldiers. If you're new to the channel, please do hit the subscribe button and hit that bell notification, as YouTube loves to not tell anyone that videos are uploaded. Anyway, what is Dog Soldiers? Is it good? Should you go and watch it? Absolutely 100% yes, you should. Those that are, not new to my channel, you would have known a few weeks back I posted on Twitter a poll for a retrospective review, a review for you decided by you, and that was between Cabin in the Woods and Dog Soldiers. I actually thought Dog Soldiers was going to win, and it narrowly missed out, and I had to review Cabin in the Woods. Nothing wrong with Cabin in the Woods, but Dog Soldiers was what I wanted to talk about, so here we go, I'm talking about it. We'll talk about non-spoilers first, and then we'll go into spoiler territory. First and foremost, should you go and watch this film? Absolutely, yes, you 100% should. I hadn't seen it for a really long time, and I sat down to watch it last night, and I've got to say, it absolutely holds up. Not in terms of the overall effects, some of the effects are a little bit wonky here and there, but in terms of the story, how the cinematography is played out, and just how it's written and constructed and edited together, it absolutely holds up, and it really is deserving of your time. You really should go and watch it, especially those that like the kind of films which I normally review on this channel. You will not be disappointed with this film. It is unashamedly British, and for those that are American, because a large portion of my audience are American, in fact it's the majority of my audience, as I said, it is unashamedly British, and as such, there are a lot of British level jokes in there, and the humour is quite British based as well. So it's really important for you guys to note that before going in to watch it, because it's not bad, it's not to its detriment at all, but just know that before going in to watch it. So what is the story about? And again, non-spoilers here. An army platoon, an army squad go into the Scottish Highlands for a training mission against special forces. It's just a training exercise and things run amok, basically. It's a werewolf film, so we kind of know that obviously there's going to be some level of supernatural element in there somewhere along the line, and yeah, things run amok, and that's it. That's all I can say in terms of the non-spoilers. One thing I have to praise about this film is the kind of writing and the direction is so on point for the budget that they were given. So it's Neil Marshall, he wrote the screenplay and he directed this film, and it is so good. So good, and very tight, really tight. So they were given a budget, and it is difficult to kind of track down the exact amount. There's a lot of conflicting reports, from $2 million upwards of £5 million. The closest I could get to it being accurate, anyway, from all of the reports that I found, was £2.3 million, which at the time, and to this day as well, because this was filmed in 2001, but even now and even then, that budget is fucking nothing. Like, it is absolutely tiny. There's nothing there. And what they managed to create with that budget is truly very special. Obviously there's werewolves, right? And the effects of werewolves in terms of the practical, because there's not really any CGI in this film as far as I could see, is so well done, because they know when to utilise the werewolves. And they are in the film an awful lot. There is a lot of them, and there are in the film a lot. But they don't show them an awful amount, because obviously the effects are not astounding. They're not the best effects you could ever imagine, especially for the time. They're not superb, but they show them just enough, and they know when to show them, and they're working within their boundaries. And also they spent their money very wisely in that regard as well, because the effects of the werewolves, they're fine, they're absolutely fine, and there's an interesting take on the werewolf in that aspect as well, how they look, how tall they are, how they kind of move and what they do, but they're not thrown in your face, and that's good. It's to its credit. In terms of the acting, it has Sean Pertwee, Kevin McKidd and Liam Cunningham. They are essentially the three main characters. Sean Pertwee, please God be in more things. You're amazing. You're an amazing actor, and it's such a shame he's not in more things, because he's fucking awesome, and he really is awesome, and he's a standout in this film. He's so good. Kevin McKidd takes essentially the lead role further down the line, and he's very good in this. His acting is on point. it's believable, it's engaging, and Liam Cunningham, the name alone speaks for itself. If you haven't seen this guy act, just go and watch him. He's very, very good. And yeah, they all move around one another very, very well. There are obviously some side characters here and there, and their portrayal is fine. Like, everyone's acting in this film, they brought their A game, and it really, really shows. And they all look like they're having so much fun with it, but not in the, oh, this film's garbage, let's just laugh it off and have a good time. They are having a great time, but also bringing their A game. And you can tell when you watch this film, you can absolutely tell. Outside of that, the pace is great. Again, all non-spoilers. The pace is great. The subversion of expectations is there as well. So they kind of subvert the genre a little bit. I liken this film to kind of the story of the three pigs, you know, and the wolf that'll blow their house down, that sort of thing. And you'll see what I mean when you go out and watch this film. I'll talk about it more in spoilers, but it is there, and it's kind of like a horror take on that fairy tale. Like I said, you will see what I mean, but it's very, very good. The practical effects in terms of the blood and gore, awesome. And they don't shy away from it either. I can't talk about it in non-spoilers, but I'll get to spoilers, and there's a scene where you'll watch it and you will laugh, you'll be grossed out, and you'll be amazed. It's so, so good. So, that out of the way, should you go and watch this film, again, because this is non-spoilers, yeah, absolutely, please do go and watch it. It's unashamedly British, it has a great pace, it gets stuck right into the material that you're there to see, and it doesn't, you know, namby-pamby around with all this kind of nonsense. It does really get straight into it. There's a little bit of scene setting, enough character kind of development, and then they get right into the story, and then they develop the characters as they go through. So it's really, really good in that regard. It also, like I said, subverts the genre in terms of what you expect to happen. I'll get to that more in spoilers, but go and watch it. Spoiler time! You've been warned, right? So, spoilers. And I'm going to get right into that gory scene, which I absolutely love. Sean Pertwee gets his whole torso ripped out and his guts are hanging out, and they look like sausages. And they say it looks like sausages. They hang a lantern on it. It's amazing. What they do is so good. They're super gluing him back up together, and there's just blood and gore everywhere. And there's even a bit when they're in the house, because they go to a house, and the dog, because there's a dog, starts chewing and pulling on his guts, and he's having a tug of war with this dog. It's not framed as comedic, but it is somewhat comedic. Comedic and gross. It's so good. It's literally a tug of war with this dog, and this guy's guts are hanging out. The best. In terms of its subversion of genre and how it is a play on with regards to the story of the three pigs and the fairy tale of, you know, the wolves will huff and puff and blow your house down. They start in the woods. That's where the military exercise is taking place. That's the start of the film, effectively. Now, more often than not, what you would expect in these kind of horror films is that they would start in a claustrophobic atmosphere and then go out into the woods. That doesn't happen here. What happens is they start in the woods, things run amok, a few of them die, and they get rescued and taken to a house. And then that's where the bulk of the film is actually held and takes place. That's the scene. And that's really, really good because you're not expecting it, but it adds such a great use of kind of claustrophobia, tension building, but also the fact that you are trapped. You are trapped in this house. You're being surrounded by these intelligent beasts, these werewolves. And it just so happens the house is the werewolves' home. It's what they are when they're humans. So obviously they're not going to leave. They're not going to bugger off because this squad is in their house. There are some twists and turns, nothing too major, nothing kind of groundbreaking in terms of the story. Liam Cunningham's character is the Special Forces, and he was sent there to obviously track these werewolves down, basically, to kind of kill them. And as such, the squad was an expendable bait. They were the trap. They were there for a reason. That was their purpose, and they were expendable. They were just the victims in all of this. So it's kind of good in that regard. Emma Cleesby, her character is a werewolf as it goes through. And there's some great lines, and that's some comedic lines. You know, I'm the bitch, blah, blah, blah. And obviously she changes into a werewolf, kind of. And there's some good comedy with regards to that. But the real comedy lies in the interaction between the squad. And like I said, it's unashamedly British, not to its detriment. It's really, really good. And it's really well done. The effects, like I said in the non-spoiler section, they show just enough of the werewolves, but not too much. And that's smart use of effects, because obviously the werewolf design is great, but the use of the effects and how they constructed them and things like that is not the best because they had only 2.3 million, from what I could find anyway, in terms of the budget. And as such, how are you going to make these things look absolutely incredible? They do look good, but it's not blockbuster standard. So as a result of that, they only show them in snippets here and there, and they don't show them in all their glory. And that's good, not only because of the effects and how the practical is there, but also because it's horror. You shouldn't see everything. You shouldn't just be thrust this thing and gone, oh look, be afraid of this. Because that's crap. That's not what horror is supposed to be. That's not scary. It doesn't add any kind of claustrophobia and tension. It doesn't make you concerned for these things. You don't care at that point. If you're just shown everything, you don't care. So they hold everything back until really the last little bits. And that's great. That's really, really, really good. The score in this film, awesome. Like I said, I hadn't seen it for a good number of years, and I watched it again last night. And one thing that really stood out to me was the score. The score is very, very good. So yeah, the score is absolutely great. Really, really good. The use of the sets and how they built the set pieces. I assume they built the set pieces or just bought abandoned houses and all of that. Really, really good. No issue with that at all. Should you go and watch this film? Yes. If you like some British humour and you understand British humour, go and watch it. It's a fantastic film. It needs more promotion because it's a really, really good film, and there are rumours that there's going to be a second Dog Soldiers film. So if there is, awesome. I would be there in the theatre day one because it's a great, great film. Guys, if you enjoyed this review, please do hit that thumbs up button. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you are already subscribed, the notification bell icon is really important for you guys to press because otherwise you miss a lot of the content. I've had a lot of people recently say that the lore videos are not being made. They are, in fact, pretty much every single day. But because you don't have the bell notification icon clicked on, you are missing them, basically. So please do get that bell notification. I know not all of the videos I make are for everyone, but it's important to have it on if there are the things that you want to see and you're missing. Guys, I've been Mr. H, and I will catch you in the next video.